There are many types of hairstyles out there, including not having any hair at all. And some of the people that have no hair at all, they're evil. Not all of them, but some of them. Hashtag not all balds, but this episode is about balds. 21 of the most evil balds that we could imagine. Are all balds evil? Again, no, not all balds are evil. In fact, right now there are 2 bald men currently in this house watching our son downstairs so we can be upstairs talking shit on balds, many of which that are evil, including John Fetterman.
Too many times. Remember to smile.
Welcome to Too Many Tabs, a podcast where a husband and wife duo sit next to each other at a table. And today's episode is a tier list. That's right. Mr. P got put in charge of an episode, and Mr. P immediately started making a tier list because Mr. P got very mad at one person, decided to find one specific thing about their being, and then dial in on it.
Yeah.
A little too much.
Maybe a little.
Hyper-focus on them. Today's episode is about evil bald men, like Lex Luthor.
He just put an action figure on the table, Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
who I think has already made an appearance in one of our episodes.
He's already made an appearance on one of our episodes, but Lex Luthor is not in this tier list.
No, because he's not real.
He's not real. No.
Ha.
This is a list of 21 of the most evil living balds that currently are out there. Now, I do want to put a little addendum on there.
Okay.
Not all of the people on this list are evil.
Not all bald people are evil.
Not all balds. Hashtag not all balds. I mean, it's not anybody's personal fault that they go bald. There's the hair correction surgery that people
Yeah,
have.
gotta go to
right?
Turkey.
Yeah, gender affirming care.
Yeah.
There's medication for it, but also some people just want to be rocking a bald. I get it.
Yeah, for sure.
We all want to be
I
there.
was bald when we met.
You were bald when we met. And I said, I bet that chick's crazy. And you were like, I am. And then
Yes.
you stabbed an ottoman.
Okay.
Now, Mrs. P.
Yeah.
The reason why I got mad at evil balds this week
Yeah.
is because of one person in particular.
Which bald was it?
It was Kevin O'Leary.
Who's that?
Kevin O'Leary?
Yeah.
You don't know who Kevin O'Leary is?
No.
Mr. Wonderful.
I thought that was Pitbull.
No, that's Mr. Worldwide.
Great. He's a bald.
Mr. Worldwide is a bald, actually. This is Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank.
Oh,
he was
Shark
also
Tank.
in Marty Supreme, that movie we didn't watch.
No, I did not watch
Yeah,
that
we did not
movie.
watch the Timothée Chalamet movie. But Kevin O'Leary is a Canadian businessman.
Okay.
Are you familiar with him yet?
I know Shark Tank people from like seeing commercials for that sponge that has a face.
The
But
sponge that has a face?
It's like the Mrs. Mommy sponge. It's like, I don't know, it was like a sponge that went
Oh,
viral.
that's the one is that the one that I always get tagged in on TikTok because
Yeah.
they have a yelling guy and they're like, is Pearlmania yelling this? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, they didn't
No.
pay me.
They would, if they did though.
If they did, we could sell some
But
sponges.
that's the only thing, I don't know a lot about Shark Tank. There was the lady that also does real estate.
Mm-hmm.
There's the people, it's like you just go in front of them and then you try to pitch them stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're saying this one bald guy is one of the guys they get pitched
He's
to.
one of the guys, he like sits next to Mark Cuban and somebody else,
Yeah,
and they
Mark
pitch stuff at him.
Cuban.
And he's famous for being like really good at business.
Sure.
A lot of people think he's a billionaire, but he's not a billionaire.
Oh.
Kevin O'Leary is just a businessman who is
Got it.
evil. I do want to say he's evil, but he and his wife were found legally not at fault when there was a boat collision late at night that struck another boat that killed 2 people in a lake. That was not the O'Leary's fault. Neither Kevin O'Leary or his wife, Mrs. O'Leary, or the O'Leary cow from Chicago that kicked over that. They're not related to them. Okay?
So wait, okay. Now they did not do this.
They did
but
not do
there's-
this.
Theoretically, there was a boat out on a lake at night committing lake
there
crimes?
was a boat on the lake that didn't have its lights on. And Kevin O'Leary and his wife
Did
were in
not kill people.
They were in a
on-
separate boat. Let
Got
me
it.
finish, please.
Okay,
You're a
sure.
paralegal. You understand how this goes on our comedy history podcast that are all jokes. There was a boat of people that were like stargazing at night on a lake.
Sure.
They didn't have any of their lights on.
Got it.
Okay. Kevin O'Leary and his wife were in a separate boat.
Yeah.
His wife was driving the other boat.
Sure.
They had a collision. 2 people died.
Oh,
Kevin O'Leary and his wife were found not at fault
got it.
because
got it.
the other boat didn't have lights
They
on.
didn't have their lights on.
And if you say that they did and it was their fault, you will have to post really confusing tweets saying that what you said is legally wrong. Because Kevin O'Leary, who I can say, in my opinion, is an evil Canadian businessman, does have a lot of lawyers.
Got it. Well,
Okay.
because he's an evil businessman.
Because he's an evil businessman.
That's part of being an evil businessman.
Well, so
Nobody talks about Batman and how many lawyers he has.
So he nearly bankrupted Mattel.
The toy people?
Yeah, the toy people, like Barbie, Mattel.
How do you bankrupt? Okay, wait. Explain this to me.
Okay, so let me just explain. Okay, this is considered actually, it was considered one of the most disastrous corporate acquisitions in recent business history.
Okay, great.
So there's a thing called the dot-com bubble.
Yeah.
You know the dot-com bubble
Yes.
from the late 90s?
Yeah.
It was everybody made a website. Oh my God, it's like the same way like everybody had an NFT. The same way everybody needs to have a data center, and we'll get into those. He had this company that he sold to Mattel. They sold it for nearly $4 billion, around there.
Okay.
Kevin immediately sold his stock at the height of the valuation, only to see $3 billion in shareholder value get wiped out in a single day because Mattel started looking into the company. And then that company that he sold for $4 billion got sold off by Mattel for $27 million.
Okay.
That's a big difference in numbers.
Yeah.
Kevin was also fired by Mattel about 6 months into the acquisitions because they were like, something here, fuck you. So that's how he got rich enough to then get on the TV and be like, I'm a rich, kind of like a president.
Was that insider trading?
It's not considered insider trading.
Got it.
But he did get away with it because then he immediately popped over to TV.
That's the formula.
Yeah, and the sources for this, by the way, are Wikipedia. The Mattel shareholders later filed a class action lawsuit accusing Mattel executives, Kevin O'Leary, and the former CEO of the company. It was called TLC because it was like a learning video game company for like kids in schools and stuff like that.
Got it.
They were all sued for misleading investors about the health of the company, TLC, and the benefits of its acquisition. The lawsuit alleged that TLC used accounting tricks to hide losses and inflate quarterly revenues. In response, O'Leary and his defendants disputed all the charges, but Mattel later paid $122 million to settle the lawsuit across the board in 2003.
What?
Yeah, Mattel was like, all right, we just need to make this go away. Even though we had these massive losses, we're now going to pay even more money to recoup those shareholders.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so that's why Kevin O'Leary is on Shark Tank listing as Mr. Wonderful, the smart investor.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of smart investments, do you remember FTX?
No.
The FTX, the crypto share company with
Right.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, with the guy with the hair.
Yeah, he had the hair. He was like a creep. He was like, there's a picture of Sam Bankman-Fried like creepily like hiding in bushes or like plants. Very cuck-like he's watching. And then it came out that the FTX was like a weird polycule in the Bahamas.
Yeah. I remember all this.
Yeah, they were all just sucking and down there.
Whoa, can you say that on YouTube?
We're late enough into the episode.
Oh man, we might have to bleep that.
I can't say it twice.
Okay.
Anyway, so they were down there polyculing, and they were doing, NFTs.
Yeah.
And they were doing
It doesn't sound like business.
It was basically a giant Ponzi scheme. But anyway, Kevin O'Leary was the spokesman and one of the high investors of FTX.
Okay.
And when it went under, Kevin O'Leary, even though none of this stuff was covered by FDIC, which is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Yeah.
And everyone tells you when you're an investor, you can put your money into an investment. There's no guarantee you're going to make money out of it. Kevin O'Leary demanded that the government make him whole. The United States federal government.
The government paid for his mistake?
The government did eventually pay for his mistake and made him whole.
Why?
By selling off things that FTX had and other. But Kevin went on all of the cable channels. He flexed all of his social media and television and media might and was like, I need my money back. And he did that.
And that works.
And it worked. Yeah.
Wow.
Because he has money and connections.
Got it.
But anyway, this is a man who's supposed to be a smart investor. Just want to go and paint a picture right now.
Yeah.
Famous, evil, Canadian bald, by the way. Because reminder, he's Canadian. Kevin O'Leary is not an American citizen. He's a Canadian businessman.
Okay.
He has citizenships in Canada.
Yeah.
Ireland.
Sure.
And the Emirates.
But not here.
Wow.
Emirates, huh?
Yeah, the Emirates.
Okay.
Famously, I just listed a bunch of different places where you can buy citizenship.
Yeah.
O'Leary, he probably went back and was like, no, Irish Zionism. And then he went to be able to claim Irish citizenship.
Whoa.
I think, listen, I like Conor O'Malley a lot.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway. I want to bring this up because as you see, we're starting to follow a pattern here.
Sure.
He was at the .com bubble, burst.
Yep.
He's at the NFT crypto bubble, burst. So what do you think he's involved in now?
What do I think people are hyping up for business to make a lot of money that I don't believe is going to have long-term success? Is it AI data?
Wow. It's almost as if you heard me screaming in the other room earlier this week into my phone.
Every day, really.
Yeah.
Yelling into your phone about AI data centers.
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary now is part of an investment team that wants to build a 40,000-acre data center in Box Elder County, Utah.
40,000 acres?
Yeah, it's 62.5 square miles. I actually did the math on the entirety of Box Elder County and the square mileage. It's 1% of the entire county.
How many football fields do you think that is?
Actually, I don't know. Somebody actually did list it as football fields, but to me, like listing football fields
Well,
doesn't...
no, the thing is, in America, this is American specific.
Okay.
Many Americans can only do the math of size based on football fields.
Okay.
Because it's just an American thing. It's like guns and football. That's how we look at things.
Yeah, okay, it's approximately 30,500 American football fields.
30,000 football fields
Of
lined
data center.
up
Of data center. Yeah.
1% of the county as a whole.
Yeah.
He wants to build that big of a data center.
That big of a data center.
Okay.
Yeah. And people, locals to the area, are not happy about it.
Oh, are you serious? They don't want that?
Yeah, it's called Project Stratos, by the way, because that doesn't sound terrifying.
Oh, my God.
So Project Stratos here, right?
Yeah.
Locals spoke out against it.
Yeah,
and they
of
were like,
course.
and there's some activists as well. We're like, hey, and they started going to these meetings. And one of the things that happens a lot with these data centers is the data center companies show up. And I'm not saying this particular thing happened with this data center, but they'll show up to county supervisors, local town committees, or others. And oftentimes they'll come in, they want to speak to the city council people, and they'll make them sign NDAs. And basically the whole thing kind of happens to the side in like this like meeting addendum, not quite public.
Suspicious.
And then by the time it's said, it almost seems like a done deal.
Yeah.
And basically that's kind of what happened here. There has been some accusations that one of the local county supervisors or county commissioners recently bought land for an undisclosed amount of money right by the data center. So there could be some things, other things involved.
He's not going to live there. Nobody wants to live near a data center.
Nobody wants to live near a data center, but when you can build things near the data center, or like data centers beget more data centers, so the land around it immediately becomes a little bit more expensive. But Kevin, seeing the pushback on this, Canadian citizen businessman Kevin O'Leary,
does not live in Utah, where this is going to be built.
Does not live in Utah, no.
Got it.
He got mad that locals and activists were speaking out against it.
Oh, yeah.
So what he did was claim that all of them are secret Chinese.
Who would want to stop us from having compute capacity to develop AI? I mean, it's the CPP at work here. There's no question about it. So these are proxies for the Chinese government's my argument. And if they're not, because I want them to be able to defend their name, Taylor, Josh, and Gabby, come out wherever you are. Let's audit your books and let's show the people of Utah you actually care about them.
I'm sorry, what?
He said that all of them are Chinese spies and agitators.
What the well, okay. So, all right. Now, theoretically, if they were all Chinese spies and agitators, why would they be worried about a data center in Utah?
Because the thought process, and you're going to hear this from a lot of billionaires when it comes to AI and data centers in general.
Yeah.
It's just like the way Henry Kissinger used to speak about nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And like the nuclear gap. There's the idea that if we don't build data centers and AI faster, then the Chinese will beat us.
But they're not even building that.
We have to beat the Chinese.
They're building railroads.
Babe, we have to beat the Chinese.
High-speed rail.
The Chinese are also building data centers and AI. They are as well. What is it? They are doing it.
Sure.
But nowhere near the push and speed that we are because we have to. And this is a big push. And so he started claiming that these especially it's like two white girls who were born and raised in Utah who are Democratic strategists.
They've got Utah curls. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do know what that is from you. He straight up like called them out by name in a video.
Gabby Finlayson. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you?
And then they made a response video.
Oh, hell yeah,
to him, and it's great.
Hi, hello. It's me, Gabby Finlayson. What am I doing? Apparently, we've reached the part of the Stratos data center journey where Kevin O'Leary goes on national Fox News to accuse us of being cells for the Chinese Communist Party.
We are not taking the criticism of anyone who is wearing flip-flops and a suit on national television.
And we'll link it down in the description. But their response video was awesome. It's like 5 minutes, top to bottom, like read on Kevin O'Leary, who was, by the way, wearing pink flip-flops the entire time he's recording these things.
I can't take pink flip-flops on a man seriously.
He's wearing pink like almost shower flip-flops. Oh. And like he'll be like, so he always does this weird shot.
And I know he doesn't have a pedicure.
Well, what he does this weird shot from the side as he's being interviewed on like CNBC and other things, where he has like basically a TV behind him to pretend to have a fake backdrop. Right?
Yeah.
That's what he does behind him. And then he's in like an apartment or something, and he has a suit on up here. He has a full suit, but then like the same type of pink flip-flops you would get when you get a pedi.
Yeah. Oh.
It's those type of like weird ones.
So he's wearing business on the top, chill on the bottom, like RuPaul during Drag Race?
Yes, 100%.
A nice bald. Wait a minute, fracking.
Yeah. He also then...
Is RuPaul on this list?
RuPaul is not on this list, actually. That's actually very funny. Maybe by the time we're done, we'll up it to the 22 most evil balds. But what I was going to say is, after this moment, Kevin is now trying to just have people hate him for other reasons.
Got it.
So he then went on a podcast where he said that people, if you're only making $70,000 a year, maybe you should not get a $28 lunch.
Well,
that's why you can't afford a house.
They make lunches not $28.
Yes, I know. It's well, like right now, I went to Wawa and I got a 6-inch hoagie.
Yeah.
Right? I got a 6-inch. It's called a
He
shorty.
went to a local gas station to get a sandwich.
Yeah, because that's what we do in Pennsylvania. We gas station food. A 6-inch hoagie and a green tea.
Yeah.
Was still like, it was like almost $11.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten crazy. Like a candy bar now is $2.38. It used to be 60 cents when I was a kid. But Kevin O'Leary is starting to use boomer speak. The other thing he did is, you know, boot theory?
No.
It's really from Discworld. But it's a classic. You've already said it all the time.
Okay.
Discworld's a novel series by Terry Pratchett. It's one of my favorite book series of all time.
Yeah.
There's a character called Sam Vines, and he talks about boot theory.
Oh, you mean how if you buy a good pair of boots, it'll last you longer than buying 5 cheap pair of boots?
Yeah, instead of going to Walmart and buying a pair of shitty shoes, you go to a nicer place and get one, and then you get them repaired.
Yeah, you go to
and
the
paying more
cobbler.
money on that. Kevin O'Leary basically said this, but just to remind everybody that he has never lived a life that we've lived, he sat on a podcast and said that instead of going out and buying a cheap piece of shit from like Temu as a jacket, you should do what his mom did, which is mom would go out and buy one nice Chanel jacket a year.
That is so relatable.
So relatable.
My cardigan's from TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
In order to make it last, I'm going to hand wash it every time and hang it dry because I know that it's poorly made.
Yeah, because Kevin O'Leary does the thing that all rich people do, especially the ones who slowly start falling towards prosperity gospel, is the idea that they're rich because other people are dumb and don't deserve it.
Yeah.
It's actually studies that they've done. If you give people a little bit more money, they will buy more bulk items and save money.
Yeah, of course.
But they can't. It's the toilet paper paradox, right?
Yeah.
Everyone always goes, if you go to any bodega in like a big city, you'll see single rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's for people who are in desperate measures, and they will buy one single, very expensive roll of toilet paper, and then most people from the suburbs are like, you're dumb. Why don't you go to Costco and buy the big pack? You'll save money.
And you're like,
time.
they don't have a car to drive to Costco.
Not only that, though, what actually ends up happening is they've done studies of people's finances, and when people are paid immediately, right, and they have more money at the beginning of the month, after all of their major bills are paid and they can kind of breathe a little, they buy the bigger packs.
Yeah.
But as the month goes on and bills get tighter and the funds get tighter, they start buying more and more desperation items because you always have to poop.
Yeah.
Also, get a bidet.
No, also, listen, I don't want to talk about crimes. I'm not talking about crimes.
Not talking about
But
crimes.
I'm saying that if you were to go to a big store that maybe people are boycotting right now, and you're in there, and you go in there just to pee and flush to waste their water and make them pay, grab a roll, leave.
Okay, so with that, Mrs. P, I have 20 more people to cover, but this is a tier list. So I have given you the tier list.
Yeah, okay.
It's in front of you here, and you have Kevin O'Leary's
I've been
face
looking
right
at it, and I've been wondering who this guy is because he's really ugly.
Okay, we're going to get to that. All right, now scroll back to the top. I want you to read the tiers. So the top tier, which is S tier, is...
Mr. Worldwide.
Exactly.
Pitbull.
That is, well, okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide is the best you can be.
That's the best bald.
That's the best bald possible.
Got it.
Okay? Under Mr. Worldwide, which would be our A tier, is...
Emotionally luscious.
These are people who are bald, but by all intents and purposes, because of their character, we go, what a full head of hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't need the hair.
Yeah.
Under that, we have...
Botched Betty.
Yeah, Botched Betty. There's accidents have happened. Accidents have happened, and we're sorry. But it's also somebody who are like, Yeah. Okay. After that, we have.
This one says Papa Tui.
Yes. Do you know what Papa Tui is?
Yeah, it's the Rock's shampoo line at Target.
Yeah. The Rock famously bald The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, sells shampoo. And actually, if you go to his website, it says, if you click on the shampoo, it goes, I would have used it. So there's a whole category of people. That's kind of like our C tier.
Okay.
After that, we have
He Gone Gollum.
These are people who are incredibly
Evil.
The emotions have seeped through them.
Yeah.
The evil has seeped through them that has actually physically made them a terrifying person.
Yeah.
After that, we have
Okay, Mountbatten level cursed.
Yes.
Okay, you want to explain that one?
Yeah, Prince William.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so the evil is rotting them from the inside.
Yeah, but also it's a family curse.
Yeah.
This is like a deep level
generational.
thing. This is generational baldness.
Yeah.
That is coming through them in a way that is just
It's
horrific.
not like it's genetic baldness, which
No.
runs in many a
No.
family.
This is
generational. You're being smited by the universe through your hair
because your
follicles.
generational wealth is also part of your generational evil.
Yeah.
Does that make more
I
sense?
get it, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, and then the final one here says prohibited by the community guidelines of YouTube.com and Patreon.
Yeah, I couldn't actually tell you my full opinion about them.
Got it.
Yeah. So for me,
Okay.
which I've said repeatedly,
Yeah.
I want Kevin O'Leary deported from America and have him be refused business here, and any assets he has should be seized by the federal government. They don't have one there, but the other options that I have for him, I can't say out loud.
So I'm going to put him in the prohibited by the community guidelines, Len.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're going to put our emotions about Canadian businessman Kevin O'Leary. And with that, Mrs. P.
Yeah.
With that, Mrs. P.
Sure.
We're going to take a break.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about Bob the Drag Queen?
Yes, we are. We just finished a sold-out show here in New York City, and the energy was amazing, Phil.
It was great. You had a chant going. It got weird. It got fun. It got crazy. But we have more coming because we're going to be doing live shows in Seattle, Portland, Boston, Philly, San Francisco, Phoenix, Denver, Atlanta, Chicago, St. Paul, DC, and Pittsburgh.
CrashingOutTour.com. Get your tickets now or check the link in both of our bios. When you start your business, it's important to have a great team. Shopify is your MVP every season. Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses. If you've ever seen that purple Shop Pay button at checkout, you're familiar with their work.
I absolutely am familiar. And when I see that Shop Pay button, I know that I am in good hands and that I'm most likely going to purchase whatever I'm looking at.
Yep.
Because it makes it so simple.
It does. And Shopify has easy-to-use tools to help your business grow all in one place. Customize your brand in the Shopify Design Studio, run social media campaigns, and reach new customers in the marketing tool. Shopify can even help manage inventory and international shipping. If you ever run into trouble, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 customer support is there to help. It's time to turn those what-ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/too-many. Go to shopify.com/too-many. That's shopify.com/too-many. Well, Mrs. B, we already put one of the most evil bald men possible on the tier list.
Yeah, and I didn't even know who he was, really.
Yeah, and now you do. Now you got a pretty
I'm
good...
upsetty spaghetti about it.
And real fast, once again, I would like to restate, Kevin O'Leary and his wife did not murder anyone on a boat.
No.
Okay, so with that being said,
Yeah.
you saw the next name on
Yeah,
here.
well, I have images at the bottom of this tier list, and
Yes.
I'm looking at them, and the next one is Bob the Drag Queen.
Yes.
And he is not evil.
Bob the Drag Queen is not evil.
No.
No. Bob the Drag Queen, who uses he, they pronouns interchangeably. Bob, this is a controversial one that's on there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's controversial not because of Bob not being evil.
Yeah.
But because Bob got a hair transplant.
Hell yeah, dude.
I know, and we're proud of you.
Yeah.
Bob has been bald for so long.
In
though.
Beverly Hills.
In Beverly
I watched
Hills.
the YouTube video.
You watched the YouTube?
Rich.
Yes.
Yeah, Bob didn't fly to Turkey.
No, Bob did not
said
fly to Turkey.
Beverly Hills.
And I actually know a lot of people who've gotten hair transplants.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, there's like a list on it, but Bob to me has been bald for so long that it's going to take me decades before I view Bob as not bald.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But Bob is also a control on here.
Yeah.
Because Bob is amazing at everything they do.
Yeah.
Author, comedian, reality star, drag queen, you name it, they nail it. They have a podcast. They do so many different things.
Yeah, they do stand-up comedy, live shows. They were on Broadway. They have a very successful YouTube channel.
Yeah, all those things. And so basically to me, I just wanted to include Bob because I needed a control on here as an example of somebody that to me is...
Mr. Worldwide?
No, it's there's only one Mr. Worldwide.
Okay, so then emotionally luscious?
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Bob is emotionally luscious. Also, Bob wears a ton of wigs.
Yeah, of course.
And just has amazing things. And just Bob in general, we love you. We love you, we love you, we love you. If we ever have guests on this show, please come on.
Please come to
Please come to me, or let's do something. I don't know, but I just want to be in Bob's presence. Honestly, I just want to walk in and go, also, good on you for wearing big hats for 6 months.
Yeah.
They really did. They wore big hats on everything for 6 months to hide the hair transplant surgery, which is wild. That's so
I love it.
Amazing.
I live for the bit.
I live for the bit.
If I could get a hair transplant surgery, I would just do right here to create a widow's peak so I could have that Fran Drescher widow's peak. Fran Drescher had the best, she still does, the best widow's peak in the 90s. It was such a strong little widow's peak. And growing up, I always just like used eyeliner to try to color one in because I wanted to look like Fran Drescher. So
For me,
I would go to Turkey for that. Just
listen,
give me
for
the little
me,
ad.
and I'll admit it, it's right in this side here.
Yeah.
This side here is going.
That's stress.
He's running.
He's running.
Taking a runner on that
Yeah.
part. So I would get that touch up, but I've been like hitting it with some minoxidil. I finally admitted it this year.
Yeah.
Mrs. P just showed up with a little bottle of minoxidil and was like, "Why don't you try filling that in there, little buddy?"
I've been using this since I had a baby because the baby stole all my hairs.
Yeah, the baby does do that. The baby, people don't know that. Babies steal hairs.
Babies steal hairs. They steal your bone mass and your hair.
Yep. So we have a lot of names to go through, so we're going to have to speed it up a little bit.
All right. Okay.
This next one you already recognize.
I can see that's Dr. Phil.
Yes, that is Dr. Phil. And so because of that.
We did an episode where he was on my list.
Yes, and we did an episode as the Here's Oprah's Monsters episode. Yeah. And we listed a bunch of different people, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
These are people that Oprah platformed, and then they've entered the world. And this image that I picked is specifically from Dr. Phil speaking after Tony Hinchcliffe at the Madison Square Garden rally for Donald Trump because they're close personal friends, and he's a big Trump supporter.
That was a Nazi rally.
They would call it a MAGA Inc. rally. Anyway, let's take him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave this one completely up to you. Where would you put Dr. Phil?
Okay, so he's not a botched Betty. He's not Papa Tooie because he's not harmless. I've seen him go on tours with ICE agents. So I'm going to say he gone Gollum because he has the evil in his soul.
Yeah, I would say he gone Gollum very much. And especially as you look at him, it's like,
Yeah, because if you look at him back when he was on Oprah, and then now he's just, he's like, my precious. And his precious is the evil of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's gone Gollum.
So let's keep speeding up. I think this next one's going to be pretty easy for you.
This next picture is a picture of sad Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's at the White House.
Yeah, so that is actually a picture of Joe Rogan standing behind Donald Trump as Donald Trump rambled on about psychoactive drug therapies and weird shit.
Yeah.
This was after Joe Rogan has... I've actually heard... I know people who know Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I can't admit that. And I've heard through the grapevine that Joe Rogan believes that he is using Donald Trump, not the other way around.
Wow.
And what I have here is a note, because I put little notes about all these different people.
I can see you have a Google Doc. I'm very proud of you for writing a full episode
Thank
here.
you. You know what I have written about Joe
What?
Rogan? 5'3". Everything else, you can watch any other.
That's a good Gollum because he's little.
Yeah, that
Gollum's
is.
little.
Gollum is little. Joe Rogan is a piece of shit. He is not a good stand-up comedian. He's a stool humper. He's a bag of shit.
Is that a comedian insult?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, stool humper. There's only one stool humper that is funny.
Okay.
Cat Williams.
Yeah. Oh, he's so funny.
Cat Williams is allowed to hump a stool, but if you watch a Joe Rogan Joe Rogan, because with stand-up comedy, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Typically, this is almost every stand-up set. For the most part, there is a mic stand with a microphone in it. There is a stool, usually with a bottle of water on it.
Got it.
And some people use the stool as a prop.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan typically humps that stool. I think I've covered this before.
Okay, I didn't know.
I don't know if we have. I've bitched about him so much.
I know.
But basically, things are going worse for Joe. Everyone knows that he sucks. He's a bag of shit. And actually, he's interviewed so many other people on this list.
Yeah.
Including a lot of people who've been on Epstein's Island.
He
and then
loves interviewing people from Epstein's Island.
And then he weirdly stopped talking about Epstein's Island out of nowhere.
Because he's pushing Trump, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Got it.
Yeah.
So,
It's up to you where you want to put him. I'm going to leave this one up to you.
Okay, so here's my thought process. I don't think you're prohibited by the community guidelines because you always be talking shit on him.
Yeah.
As you should. Now, Mountbatten level cursed, I do believe that his family will be Mountbatten level cursed. His children will face the repercussions of his actions and probably be cursed.
Okay.
Because of what he's done to
Well,
the
he
world
does
as
have
a whole.
daughters in Texas, so good luck with your healthcare, girls.
Wow, rough.
Yeah.
So I do think Gone Gollum, because, he started as like a bit actor on news radio, and now look at him.
Yeah.
But so I feel as though he's somewhere in the Gone Gollum, but also the way he has cursed America and the world as a whole. Because again, millions of people across the globe are going to die because he helped platform Elon Musk into this.
So where are you going to put Joe Rogan? Sorry, Rogan.
I'm going to put him in Mountbatten level curse because I believe he's cursed his generation and all of our generations.
I agree with you so much with that one, and I love the logic that you used.
Thank you.
This is very, very good logic. Now, the next person
I
on
don't
this...
know who that is.
This is my favorite.
Okay.
This is my favorite thing. That's the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick.
Howard Lutnick. Wait, we talked about this recently. The commerce guy, he was on the cruise ship with his 9 kids? No, different guy.
That was the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy.
Got it.
Now, this guy has gotten in trouble for kids on a boat before, though.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because he's been to Epstein's island.
No!
And he was also Jeffrey Epstein's next door neighbor. Also, mind you, Jeffrey Epstein isn't on this list. 1, because he's dead. But 2, also because Jeffrey Epstein had like very thick hair, weirdly. Like pre-turkey.
Yeah.
It was like pre-hair plug turkey. So it's like, that's confusing.
Yeah.
You're the most evil man. But Howard Lutnick is famously bald. I'm going to go, let me just go down a little bit here about
Okay, tell me about this guy.
So Howard Lutnick was an Epstein associate. He claimed after 2005 or so that he stopped hanging out with Epstein completely.
Sure.
But he was also Epstein's next door neighbor in New York
He
City.
said I didn't have to hang out with him. We had a share door between our row homes.
Yeah. Lutnick admitted in 2012 that he did go with his wife and children to Epstein Island.
He took his kids to Epstein Island?
Yeah, there is an email about it where he lists the children's ages for some reason.
No.
Also, there's an image of Lutnick that came out later on Epstein's Island. We'll put it up on the screen.
Gross.
People figured out, because that's Jeffrey Epstein with Howard Lutnick, and then people figured out that lighthouse in the background is the lighthouse from Little St. James. Lutnick was interviewed in front of the House committee about Epstein and some things and the connections there. But right before he went to that committee hearing, he donated $5 million to the House GOP, to like their super PAC.
Huh.
Yeah, and they accepted it. Howard Lutnick, just in a general way, he has pushed Trump's tariff policy.
Yeah.
He's always seen, some people view Howard Lutnick anti-Semitically as Trump's handler because he's always like right behind Donald Trump with his arms crossed in a certain way. But also just...
I feel like a lot of people on this list stand behind Trump with their arms crossed.
A lot of them do. Actually, many of them have stood behind Donald Trump as Trump has been doing horrific things. He pushed Donald Trump's tariff policy.
Sure.
And then made...
this is the guy in charge of commerce.
Yes.
Who's saying we should have higher tariffs.
Yes.
Great.
But don't worry.
Okay.
His sons inherited Cantor Fitzgerald from him.
What's that?
It's a financial services firm that there's a 9/11 connection to. But also on top of that, there's been rumors out there that Cantor Fitzgerald has pushed back on. That these guys basically bought the tariffs from the companies so that way they could get the refunds.
Oh, like when people buy medical debt?
Kind of. Yeah. They basically bought the tariff debt.
Evil stuff.
Yeah, real evil stuff. In fact, actually, the New York Times wrote in November of last year, quote, "Never in modern U.S. history has the office of Commerce Secretary intersected so broadly and deeply within the financial interests of the Commerce Secretary's own family, according to interviews with ethics lawyers and historians." Howard Lutnick is an evil man. And in fact, not to bring it back to the Epstein's Island of it all, there is a room inside of Epstein's house that had there's like a medical dentist chair.
Yeah, that was the creepiest
And then
picture.
masks on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. One of the masks on the wall is pretty clearly Howard Lutnick.
No.
Here it is. Yeah, that's it. That's basically Howard Lutnick. Put them next to each other, Mr. Third.
Oh, no.
Terrifying, right? Yeah. Okay. So where do you want to put him on your list?
Okay. Well,
He is part of the government. He's currently part of the government.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, because you would think Mountbatten, because you said his kids have inherited this evil company.
Yeah.
But also, the Epstein Island of it all, I'm gonna say prohibited by community guidelines.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of immediate thoughts that I can't say out loud.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this man right here on he's gross. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
And I don't like that he's in charge of anything, let alone just walking around in these streets.
He's in charge of our economy.
Okay, now who's this next guy? I don't know that guy.
Okay, you do know him. You know who that is. It's
I
very
do?
tiny, though. Yeah.
It's little.
It's very little. Okay, his real name is Paul Levesque.
Paul Levesque.
He also, his stage name, if you will, was, he went by two names. One was in Terrorizing.
Okay, don't know that.
And also Hunter Hearst Helmsley, also known as Triple H from the WWE.
That's Triple H. Oh,
that is Triple H.
He's not wearing his leather daddy skull outfit.
No, he is not wearing
on a motorcycle trike.
No,
nothing cooler than a motorcycle trike.
Yeah, but he's definitely not covered in iron crosses because he's a racist. Allegedly, on our content comedy history podcast. That is the chief content officer of WWE, 13-time WWE champion, Triple H.
Triple H.
He is also now basically...
He married the boss's daughter.
Yes, after cheating on China. The wrestler China?
Oh, see, because I thought we were talking about China because we talked about China earlier.
No, China with a Y.
China with a Y. China with a Y. I know about China.
Yeah, I know you do.
She was a cool lady.
She was very, very cool.
She was a cool lady.
He and her, Triple H and China had a relationship.
Yeah.
There was a whole, so the storyline, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's the real life.
Sure.
And then there's storyline.
Yeah.
In the storyline, Triple H gets with Stephanie McMahon, who is the boss's daughter.
Yes.
Also the daughter of Linda McMahon, current Secretary of Education for the United States, and former small business administrator in Trump's first term, and head of one of his super PACs for re-election.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the storyline,
Sure.
Triple H, who is feuding with Vince McMahon,
Sure.
who is currently under investigation and a lawsuit for human trafficking and pooping on a lady's head during a forced three-way.
Allegedly.
Oh, I guess under investigation, it's in current lawsuits.
Yeah.
Also, there's a whole child ring from the 80s. Ring boys. Anyway, the Triple H in the storyline, this is like around 2000, 2001-ish.
Yeah.
In storyline, he drugs and kidnaps Stephanie McMahon and then takes her to a drive-through Las Vegas wedding chapel.
Okay.
And then, this is all, by the way, revealed during Stephanie McMahon's in-ring wedding to a wrestler named Test. He reveals all of this and then says that he consummated the marriage all night long. So his character is a date rapist. So that's...
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think I just demonetized their episode. Anyway,
No. We'll bleep or whatever.
Okay. Well, wait. So there's that.
Okay.
Then there was a time later where his character.
This is storyline.
There's a storyline.
This is imagination.
There's a storyline where he was feuding with a wrestler named Kane.
Okay,
who is
Kane.
now currently the mayor of Knox County,
I don't
Tennessee.
like that wrestling makes it out to the real world so much.
So the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, his name is Glenn Jacobs.
Glenn.
He used to go by Kane. known as the Big Red Machine.
That was the one with the red like across his face.
Yeah, he had a red mask with black on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes The Rock and Triple H would call Kane, his nickname was the Big Red Machine. They would call him the Big Red Arsler.
Oh.
They would say that a lot. Anyway, so he had a whole feud with Kane.
Okay.
Where it came out during it that one of the ways Kane was burned and some other different stuff was that Kane got into a car accident and he had this girl that he liked named Katie Vick and she died. And so then Triple H put on a Kane mask, went to an actual funeral home, and then humped a mannequin inside of a coffin, and then held up brains and went, I effed your brains out.
Oh.
That was being directed by his father-in-law, Vince McMahon, by the way, who's just off camera. Just off camera the entire time.
Okay.
Then he had a feud with a guy named Eugene.
This is becoming a wrestling podcast.
It's not. I'm not done. Then he had a feud with a guy named Eugene.
Okay.
Now, Eugene was a special needs character.
No.
Yes. and it went bad. We're just
Yeah.
gonna leave it there. But what you need to know is Eugene's specialty was that he understood every other wrestler's moves, and so he was like a savant when it came to wrestling.
Got it.
But there was a whole thing with Triple H and Eugene that was bad.
I don't like
Now
this.
let's get into the racism. So first thing, there's the blackface.
Okay.
So there was a feud between Degeneration X,
Yeah.
where Triple H was a part of, and Degeneration X had a feud with the Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
The Nation of Domination were black wrestlers fighting with DX, who were white wrestlers. So Triple
Was
H,
The Rock in Nation of Domination?
yes, and Triple H did blackface as The Rock. Throw it up on the screen. Anyway, that happened, and Triple H and The Rock hate each other a lot.
Ooh, like in real life?
Like in real life.
Ooh, nice.
Because Triple H is
So he's not getting in Papa Tui.
He's
then.
definitely not getting in Papa Tui.
He's not getting in Papa
He's
Tui.
not getting in Papa Tui. In fact, actually, weirdly, the Triple H at this point is actually technically owned by The Rock, because The Rock is a board member of TKO, which oversees WWE. And whenever he gets bored, he inserts himself into storylines now. So that's kind of like the best we're going to get as revenge on Triple H. But Triple H also had a feud with Booker T, where he said guys like you should not be champions. He uses now, ever since he retired, he had a heart attack and now he has a pacemaker.
Well, that's what happens when you do all those drugs.
Well, yeah, which is crazy, because with his pacemaker from doing all of these performance-enhancing drugs over the years, he is now part of the White House team about like making kids healthy and working out.
No.
Yeah, but you can take him out with a magnet.
No.
Also, he admitted recently that he uses AI to write and book wrestling. Like, even though they admit now they have writers, he politics his ass off all the time.
Wasn't Freddie Prinze Jr. a writer for wrestling?
Yes, he was, and he tried desperately to fix it, and it didn't matter. He also has been a big part of TKO, which owns WWE and UFC, firing and cutting the pay of wrestlers.
Okay.
And ever since Triple H took over the booking, there was about almost a 3-year period there where basically no black men won on a WWE pay-per-view. Like at all, for like 3 straight years. But he was also there when the New Day,
Love the New Day.
our favorite wrestlers, the
Love
New
the
Day,
New Day.
Specifically Xavier Woods, who's also goes by Austin Creed, and Kofi Kingston, who
Kofi?
owns his name. They took their release.
And Big E.
Big E's still there.
Okay. But I was just saying the rest of the New Day.
Yes. But Kofi and Xavier Woods took their release because the WWE basically buried them and stopped using them.
Yeah.
And then WWE came back to them and said, well, you're not as popular anymore, so we want to cut your multi-year contract in half.
So they bury them as terms for
Bury them as wrestling. They stop using them,
promoting
or you book them badly, so then people won't root for them anymore.
So then they made
sell
the
less.
storylines bad.
Yeah, they purposely make
that
storylines
for a long time, and then they're like, "Oh, you're not popular anymore because we made your storylines bad."
Yeah.
and then they cut their contract. Is that what you're saying?
Then they say, we're going to cut your contract in half or fire you, or you can accept release right now. And
cut
so-
your contract in half. How's that legal? It's already a contract.
But we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company that has destroyed unions and made sure that all of these guys
Hulk
are 1099.
Hogan destroyed the union.
Yes.
I learned that in our Hulk Hogan episode because apparently this is a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Actually, over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Donald Trump literally wrote R.I.P. to the Huckster. He by accident meant to type Hulkster and wrote Huckster. And that made me feel good.
Yeah.
So with that, Triple H, where are we putting him on the list? Obviously, somewhere sub Botch Betty.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not getting above Papa Tui.
No, he's not going to get above Papa Tui.
He gone Gollum so I guess my thought process is like, sure, he started out in wrestling like all wrestlers do, like enthusiastic and yay, we're going to do this thing. And then he got evil because he got success and money.
Yeah.
But I think
I would argue he was
again,
evil the whole time.
But I think, again, we're getting into this Mountbatten level curse because he's had kids. He generationally changed wrestling. He's been doing this so long that he has changed generation of storyline and wrestlers and outcomes and contracts. And now with like being in charge of so much stuff that I think it's Mountbatten.
I agree with you because all of his kids are also McMahons.
Yeah.
Because the McMahons are cursed.
Yeah,
So
because
that's how it is.
he genetically got in with the curse line.
Yeah, he's melded genetically with the McMahons.
Yeah, he's gonna have what's the jaw thing where they all have the jaw?
Oh, yeah. The why am I blanking on? Write it in the comments. Write in the comments right now. Which the crazy inbred Royals.
The jaw thing. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, that's
Okay.
that's a great one. So with that, Mrs.
We
Pitt,
gotta take a break.
We gotta take a break. I have to start cutting down some of these bios. I'm spending way too long on them, especially when you can tell I truly hate somebody. And we'll be right back after this. This episode of Too Many Tabs is sponsored by Delete Me. If you care about your security, Delete Me is for you. Delete Me is a hands-free subscription service that removes your personal information that's being sold online. Delete Me's privacy experts are constantly scanning data brokers so they can remove your info when it shows up for sale. Once you start, Delete Me sends you a detailed report in just 7 days telling you what they found and deleted. And we've been with Delete Me now for over a year.
Yeah, quite a while.
And it's been awesome. Having access to the privacy dashboard showed us that we had over 1,000 lines of personal data out there.
Yeah.
Including from our toddler who has never been online.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy the amount of information that's out there that anyone can buy that's being partnered and put together into files, again, that anyone can get, which is Delete Me helps you get rid of. Delete Me is based in the United States and doesn't outsource to third parties. If you're outside the United States, check out their international plans. See for yourself why Delete Me has been the leading expert in personal identifiable information removal for over 15 years. Get 20% off Delete Me consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/PearlMania20 and use code PearlMania20 at checkout. Or scan this QR code on the screen. Again, that's joindeleteme.com/PearlMania20. Code PearlMania20 at checkout. All right, Mrs. P, I'm going to try to speed up some of these bios.
You keep saying that, but then you get all excited about telling me about how awful these people are.
Who's next on our list of evil balls?
I don't know. Like, that's a very small picture. Is that Bezos?
That's Jeff Bezos. That is Jeff Bezos from his recent CNBC interview.
I like that you didn't pick his wedding pictures where he's all like trying to look nicer when he's at the Met Ball gala.
So Jeff Bezos recently went on CNBC, and all the comments on the short form videos, when you go find them, are everyone be like, he's aged like 10 years in 6 months because he looks like dog shit.
Good.
We've talked a lot about Jeff Bezos in the past.
Yeah, and we will continue to. Jeff
Bezos is one of the richest men on earth, obviously one of the founders of...
One of the most evil men on earth, in my opinion.
In one Mrs. P's opinion.
In my opinion.
I have some of the things he's listed: union busting, data center building, drone pushing, Katy Perry rocketing, Venice renting, scumbag. He is the son of an alcoholic unicyclist named Ted Jorgensen. Jeff changed his name to Bezos because that is the name of his Cuban refugee stepfather, Miguel Bezos. And the big thing about Jeff is he went on CNBC, went on a whole thing about taxes.
Yeah.
And about this weird shit about, he's like, if you raise my taxes, it's not going to help a nurse in Queens. It's not going to help a nurse in Queens. And then his whole thing was we should cut taxes for people under a certain level, which sounds good at first. But then what you realize is then rich people like Jeff will be like, well, those poor people don't pay taxes anyway. Therefore, they're not actually people. Therefore, they're nowhere near my equal. And it's really creating a noble schism.
Serf. He's trying to create
serfs. 100%. Jeff made a big deal about charity as well and how he's given money to charity, but he's given nowhere near as much as his ex-wife, Mackenzie Tuttle.
Love Mackenzie. Shout out. She'd be giving away his money.
She cannot stop giving away his money to the point where she actually inspired the Apple TV show Billions.
Yeah.
Jeff cheated on her with Lauren Sanchez, who we talked about in a different episode. He then recently married Lauren Sanchez, where they rented the entire city of Venice.
I like that you call her people and not blow up doll.
Okay, well, she's a plastic woman. Also, I've recently heard from somebody who was at an event with Jeff Bezos.
Shut up.
And this person was talking to Lauren Sanchez.
Ugh.
And they said that Jeff Bezos approached Lauren Sanchez sitting down, and he kept nuzzling her neck to the point where the other person just got up and left because it was so weird.
Oh, you know what that's like?
It was like weird, like teenager heavy petting.
I was going to say teenager, like when you're in line for like... at the roller coasters. Like for some reason, like for the teenagers love heavy petting in line for roller coasters.
I didn't even think about
That's what it's like.
I was thinking about like weird cafeteria where the teachers have to walk around with spray
it's we're
bottles.
all standing in line, and for some reason it's just like heavy petting canoodling starts.
There's always like the weirdly tall guy with a small girl.
Yeah.
And she's like koala'd onto him.
Yeah.
At least now they have phones. Now they look at their phones more.
Thank
God.
God.
All right, so with that, their phones, which by the way, Jeff Bezos Bezos is probably a part of because of Amazon Web Services covers so much of the world and the World Wide Web now. Amazon has been accused of worker safety violations, including forcing warehouse workers to piss in bottles. Workers have reportedly had to continue working when their fellow employees have dropped dead.
Step over them.
Jeff has created a culture inside of Amazon, especially among their executives, that chase the bottom line to a point where whenever an Amazon exec leaves and go to another company, everyone bitches about them. It's like the Amazon assholes is like a nickname that's out there. Jeff purchased and gutted the Washington Post recently, where he's basically turned the op-ed page over there into an old man's grievances that he can yell, and anything he believes he can have them say.
It would be funny if we had enough money you could buy a newspaper, because you would do that.
I would do that, 100%. I'm not,
this
listen.
This is me just yelling about something.
Yeah. But this is after he spent years claiming that he was holding it in trust and he wasn't actually touching it. It started with him pulling the Washington Post endorsement of Kamala Harris, which again, I don't think newspaper endorsements actually matter that much, but it was a weird thing to do. And now he constantly and consistently has the editorial board, which typically keeps their names off of it, like put this big stamps on specific things that clearly Jeff Bezos wants to make sure things like his taxes aren't raised and we keep eating garbage.
Phone parties with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, like all that stuff.
Things one.
P. Diddy was busy at the time. Beyond destroying Main Street and bookstores, Amazon has also censored books, particularly ones that are dealing with LGBTQ information. He's partnered with the CIA and Israel and given facial recognition software to law enforcement. And generally, this guy is a bad time. We've talked about him a lot. Mrs. P, where are you putting him?
Prohibited by community guidelines, because there's a lot I want to say, but I'm never allowed to because he controls the internet.
So much of the internet. And even though we talk a lot of shit on him, weirdly somehow they still show up sometimes as sponsors. That's always the fun one. So always, please guys, always check us out at ProMania500.net, because you have no idea how many things we have been like, listen, it's weird that you want to give me money now. I feel like we would be hypocrites for taking it. And they're like, we'll still give you the money.
And I was like, but I got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah, but it's odd. Anyway, let's go on. Who do we have next?
That looks like John Fetterman.
That is John Fetterman.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put him under prohibited. Just put him under prohibited right now. Just put him under prohibited.
Not going to talk about it.
I can't say fully what I can do.
Not going to talk about it.
I got the bobblehead out. Bobblehead
the broken bobblehead that you broke.
The feet. I got so mad I broke the feet off of it.
Yep, oopsie daisy.
Yeah, John Fetterman is a terrible person. Just a complete awful man. And the one thing I do want to say, he is a staunch, rabid, genocidal Zionist who received a silver-plated pager from Benjamin Netanyahu to commemorate a war crime where Israel detonated thousands of pagers across Lebanon in a double tap strike that killed and injured thousands of people, including many children. John Fetterman wholeheartedly supports every evil action that is currently happening in our government. He is typically the only Democrat that will cross aisles to keep things like the Iran war going, the blockade of Cuba, and the complete and utter devastation of Lebanon, Gaza, and more places. And he also recently went on the Bill Maher podcast. So fuck you. Double fuck you for just hanging out with Bill Maher, because he talked about how much he respects Donald Trump for being basically the conscious, just like a free-flowing conscious, and actually loved the fact that Donald Trump yelled "quiet piggy" to a female reporter. He laughed about that. He actually laughed about that through his broken-ass brain, and now people are regularly, when they see John Fetterman in Pennsylvania walking around the district, they actually are openly asking him to leave the Democratic Party and become an independent.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself forever. I'm glad it's under prohibited. You all know my thoughts. I hate that man. Fuck that man. That's it. We should move on to the next one.
I think we should move on to the next one. Is that Charles Barkley?
It is Charles Barkley. Yay!
Yay!
This is the opposite. Yay!
I was wondering when we were going to get another, like a nice one.
Yes, no, it is Charles Barkley. I love Charles Barkley.
Okay.
The 6'6" NBA Hall of Famer, sports commentator, and one-time SNL host. He was very funny on SNL.
Yeah.
Charles has dunked on Godzilla in a Nike commercial. For real, we're gonna put it up here on the screen. I don't think we can play the audio of it.
Yeah, no.
But we can show him. He plays against Godzilla, which obviously you guys know. You can see from my laptop. I love a Godzilla. He has feuded and apologized to the big women down in San Antonio. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I remember the clip. You played it for me quite a few times.
It's just so funny. And then he was like, "I want to apologize to San Antonio," and they're like, "Why?" He's like, "I had a churro." I understand it now. He has openly admitted to having a gambling addiction that will come back to play later. In 2006, Charles Barkley stated, and I quote, "I was a Republican until they lost their minds." And then he endorsed Barack Obama in 2008.
There you go.
Charles Barkley has been a fierce advocate for the LGBT community. backing gay marriage long before it was popular or cool to say, and saying this in 2022. Quote, actually, you know what? We'll just play the clip.
If you're gay and transgender, I love you. Hey, and if anybody gives you shit, you tell them Charles said, fuck you.
Just in case that was hard to hear, he said, I want to say this. If you're gay and transgender, I love you. And if anybody gives you shit, you tell them Charles said, fuck you. And that's what we need.
You know what that is? Emotionally luscious.
That's 100% what that is.
Yeah.
You go ahead and you put him in emotionally luscious.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's the absolute best.
Okay, let me see. John Travolta?
Yes, John Travolta is bald.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that John Travolta is bald.
He forgets he's bald.
Yeah.
He's got a new face.
He does have a new face.
Ooh, that might be right into Botched Betty.
Okay, so let me just go over this real fast. So John Travolta, obviously famous actor, famous for a lot of different things, especially in the 70s, had a comeback in the 90s. By the early 2000s, everyone went, oh my God, he's a Scientologist.
Yeah.
John Travolta is a pilot. He's obsessed with planes.
Yeah.
He's probably gay, but right now he's rocking berets.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it online? Everyone's
Yes.
obsessed with he keeps showing them they're not Kangles.
No.
But they're close.
He did Kangles for a long time.
Did he?
He was a Kangle guy.
He was a
for
Kangle
long
guy?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently, according to Wikipedia,
Yeah.
do you know why John Travolta shaved his head?
Why?
Because his very good friend told him, it's time. You got to give up on it. You need to shave your head.
Sure.
Do you know who his very good friend's name is?
No.
Okay, first thing, put John Travolta. Put him where you're going to put him.
Botch Betty.
Botch Betty.
Yeah.
And guess who his very good friend is?
Who?
Mr. Worldwide Pitbull.
No!
I'm on Fireball. Bam, 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 bam. So find Pitbull. He's the only one that's a full body shot.
Got him.
That's
He's
right.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, he's Mr.
You know why?
Worldwide.
Because he's a good friend. He's a good friend. He said,
Honestly,
hey, bud, focus on some other stuff.
Yeah.
Get yourself a double bleff.
I'm just telling you guys right now, if anything bad comes out about Pitbull, no, it doesn't. I need that. I need Pitbull. No, I've given up on too many of the other ones. Okay? I've given up. I've lost too many. And if people can say that Michael Jackson died in 1988, then I can say that Pitbull, whatever happened, it didn't. Okay? Because I need Pitbull. There's times when a Pitbull song comes on, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
When we did Crashing Out live,
Yeah.
by the way, crashingOuttour.com, get your tickets. Get your tickets
Down
down
below.
below.
Down below.
Tickets we're almost sold out in Seattle. Portland's going fast. Chicago's going fast.
Woo.
We're getting there.
We're getting
It's
there.
getting crazy. But Mrs. P, what I was saying though,
Okay.
is when we did it, we were debating on what type of music to come out to. What's our walkout song?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things. I need something to match me and Phil.
Yeah.
And then finally, one of the guys there, I was like, pull up. I was like, I want an early 2000s millennial optimism.
Yeah.
And so I turned to him and said, give me Pitbull's greatest hits.
Yeah.
And we started going Timber
Yeah.
by Kesha and Pitbull.
Kesha and Pitbull?
It's going down. We're going timber. And the energy, when you hit the stage as Pitbull is rapping,
Yeah.
oh. Also, famously bald to the point where people now wear bald caps who go to Pitbull shows.
Absolutely.
If you're driving down the road and you pass 4 millennial women in a car that probably has a check engine light on,
Yeah.
and they're all wearing bald caps, a Pitbull concert is within 25 miles of wherever you are.
And I'm trying to go.
We're trying to go.
Now, we've been hyped now because we got to talk about Pitbull. But this next picture I am deeply concerned about because it's Louis C.K.
Yeah, it's Louis C.K.
Do we have to talk about Louis C.K.?
We do have to talk about
Okay.
Louis. And the reason why is because Louis is back. And I don't think a lot of people understand why Louis was gone and what happened. And I have a lot of information on that.
Okay.
So I just want to tell everybody, we are going to talk about Louis C.K. and we're going to not get very specific to the allegations.
Yeah.
But there are allegations in here. Louis C.K. is a very famous stand-up comedian, comedy writer, and filmmaker. He also had a TV show called Louis on FX.
Mm-hmm.
Louis was accused of sexual misconduct by 5 women. The 5 separate stories are all very similar, which include Louis C.K. I'm going to use a term because we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of Louis C.K., we'll just say playing with himself.
Got it.
To completion in their presence. One woman said over the phone, And then he said when he was done, he told her he was done. And none of them consented to this.
Yeah.
Louis and members of his team spent years destroying the careers of anyone who brought up these accusations in the comedy spaces.
Yeah.
This came out. This was one of those things where people would start to step forward, and there's a thing in comedy, the same thing with like Bill Cosby over the years and others. These things would come up. And all of these women that are a part of this were women who were in the comedy space.
Yeah, they were comedians.
And Louis was like a quote unquote a safe one. He was supposed to understand. He would do jokes about how, the most dangerous thing to women, like the number one killer of men is heart disease. Number one killer of women is men.
Yeah.
They had jokes about this. Like he seemed to understand. And then they would get into situations where they'd be in a hotel room with him and he would just start going at it.
Yeah.
And he said that he claimed he asked, but never understood the power dynamic where you're a headliner and they're an opener or a feature or somebody who's just trying to get a job in Hollywood. And even after that happened, if they started talking about it, his agent would blackball them.
Yeah.
And kind of put this out there. Louis even referenced his fetish for doing this at or about women against their will in his FX show, Louis. And we are going to play a little clip of this that in context later is insane.
Let's bring in our next guest, comedian Louis C.K., whom some might describe as an aficionado of masturbation, a man who is well known for being a prolific masturbator, who even brags about it. Is that fair to say, Louis?
Yeah, that's fair.
In fact, you're the only person we could find who would come here to defend masturbation.
Well, I like it. It's easy and it's fun and nobody gets hurt.
Masturbating's really important to you.
Yeah, it is. It keeps me sane. I'm a good citizen. I'm a good father. I recycle and I masturbate. And I'm proud of it. And God's happy. And later I'm going to masturbate and I'm going to think about you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah. So the context of that is he is on, that's literally him on Fox.
Yeah.
On Greg Gutfeld's old show, Fox Red Eye, where they used to have comedians on there. The person he is talking to is like an anti-touching it advocate. Who was like, is actually based on a real character that was out there.
Yeah.
But the context of, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's
is the part where you're like,
oh no.
So the thing is, a lot of people, this was like buried and pushed around a lot until the New York Times published an article about it in September of 2017. And then Louis eventually admitted that all of the allegations are true in November 2017 in a statement. And I'm going to read most of the statement here. He said, quote, the reason why I'm going to read this, by the way, is there's a lot of people who like to claim that it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Even though Louis himself, to this day, still admits it's true and that he fucked up, this is what he said. These stories are true. At the time, I said to myself that what I did was okay because I never showed a woman my dick without asking first, which is also true. But what I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to look at your dick isn't a question, it's a predicament for them. The power I had over these women is that they admired me, and I wielded that power irresponsibly. I have been remorseful of my actions, and I've tried to learn from them and run from them. Now I'm aware of the extent of the impact of my actions. I learned yesterday to the extent to which I left these women who admired me feeling badly about themselves and cautious around the men who would never have put them in that position. I also took advantage of the fact that I was widely admired in my and their community, which disabled them from sharing their story and brought hardship to them when they tried because people who look up to me didn't want to hear it. I didn't think that I was doing any of that because my position allowed me not to think about it. There is nothing about this that I forgive myself for, and I have to reconcile it with who I am, which is nothing compared to the task I left with them. I wish I had reacted to their admiration of me by being a good example to them as a man and given them some guidance as a comedian, including because I admired their work. The hardest regret to live with is what you've done to hurt someone else, and I can hardly wrap my head around the scope of hurt I brought on them. I'd be remiss to exclude the hurt that I brought on people who I work with and have worked with whose professional and personal lives have been impacted by all this. He then lists a bunch of projects that were in the work at that time.
Yeah.
I brought pain to my family, my friends, my children, and their mother. I have spent my long and lucky career talking and saying anything I want. I will now step back and take a long time to listen. Thank you for reading. Louis returned to stand up in a surprise set at the Comedy Cellar less than a year later in August of 2018. He couldn't even step back for a full year, and then he had to surprise an audience with his own thing without asking them for consent first, because he was tired of listening. In September of 2025, Louis was one of the headliners of the Riyadh Comedy Festival, and just this month alone, Louis has returned to Netflix. He's headlined the Hollywood Bowl as a headliner of the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival, and his next stand-up special is to be released soon on Netflix. Netflix. I forgot to add, what's his name on the list?
The guy who's in charge of Netflix?
No, Kevin Spacey. I forgot to put Kevin Spacey on here. Because if Louis can come back, why can't Kevin Spacey?
No, he shouldn't come back.
Oh, well, they all came back. That's the problem.
Oh, my God.
All right, so with all of that being said, Mrs. P.
I feel, okay. Here, this is a weird spot. Because, like, he's not as evil as Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan had so much more pull and touch.
Yeah, I would go with Gone Gollum, because the other thing,
Gollum.
too, is because we haven't seen Louis in a long time, the red's gone.
Yeah.
He looks disheveled.
Yeah,
Even with his comeback, he looks disheveled, and part of that, I think, is part of his character.
Yeah.
I think he's tried to play the character of the old man who's just lost.
Yeah.
But also, guys like, not particularly Rogan, but a lot of people in the Rogan universe, like Theo Von and a bunch of other ones, brought Louis on.
Yeah.
When Louis couldn't get booked anywhere else, he went on podcasts.
Yeah.
He started, and those podcasts, that was a way for those podcasts to get a step up.
Yeah.
Because Louis was at the top of his game. He was an SNL host regular. He had a show on FX. He got all these awards and accolades. He was always on Fresh Air at NPR.
Yeah.
And then one day, nobody would pick up the phone anymore. And so what happened was these podcasts would have him come on, and then he could take his old audience and convert them.
Yeah.
And so he has Louis is part of the reason why Joe Rogan and that podcast pipeline got so big.
Yeah.
And how Donald Trump was able to. He is a part of that, whether or not he wants to admit it.
Yeah.
So who do we got next? We're gonna do one
I
more
don't know
and
who
then
that
we'll take a
is. He has like a really egg-shaped head, whoever that is.
break. Okay, so that's Marc Andreessen. We're going to take a break because I have a lot to say about that one. We'll be right back after this. Okay, so that's Marc Andreessen, Mrs.
Who's
P.
that?
Marc Andreessen is a billionaire. He co-founded a thing called Netscape.
Okay.
So you know how you have Internet Explorer or Firefox or Apple? It's a browser. It was one of the first browsers for the internet, and it was very, 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 very popular.
Sure.
He made a lot of money, and then he founded a venture capital firm called Andreessen Horowitz, which was an early investor in Twitter.
Okay.
He is now one of the top tech investors in the United States defense industry. He was like a Hillary Clinton backer, but by 2024, he shifted completely into being pro-Trump.
Okay.
And he donated $3 million to MAGA Inc. in 2024. He is now loudly anti-DEI, and he said that universities would pay the price for supporting diversity, equity, inclusion. He has stated repeatedly that he doesn't believe in introspection.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he makes a big deal. He said, and I quote,
If you go back, before 100 years ago, it never would have occurred to anybody to be introspective. It's all a new construct. Western civilization had to kind of invent the concept of the individual, right? The individual needs to feel guilt, needs to look backwards, needs to dwell on the past. It never resonated with me.
And before you say anything, what I do want to say, him saying that introspection is a new idea. Socrates in 399 BCE stated, quote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This is very much like the same thing of Jesus Christ said, a man cannot live on bread alone.
Yeah.
There's saying, there's so many sayings from famous philosophers that are short enough to be tweets.
Since the dawn of time.
People
have said, what if I looked inward for a minute?
Since we invented writing, people have written down, I've been thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They drew on walls. They said, here's a deer.
Yeah.
Here's me and my friend talking about stuff.
And here's my buddy going, why is deer?
Why is deer?
Why is me? That Marc Andreessen thinks all of that is a waste of time, much of it created by Sigmund Freud.
He looks like he's about to get pushed off a wall like Humpty Dumpty.
Yes, he also weirdly has a literal egg-shaped pinhead. He looks like Egghead. Vincent Price as Egghead from Batman 66. There is a lot in here. He is a psychopath, but also when Elon went crazy, or actually when I would say not went crazy, when Elon went mask off Andreessen went full crazy.
Got it.
And Andreessen has been a back funder of a lot of things. Recently, he keeps saying that there was an interview, I think he just recently went on Rogan and other podcasts, and he believes that AI has already reached AGI, which is artificial general intelligence.
Okay.
That he just believes that
I thought
AI is out there.
AGI was a supplement.
No, I know. You're thinking AG1. He's a tech billionaire, though, who believes that because he got rich at a specific time, even though he doesn't seem to understand that he has a lot of money that he can seed out there. So if he, like through Andreessen Horowitz, he, seeded 80 companies, 2 of them did really well.
Yeah.
That's because you have enough money to do a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
That's because you were there early enough to get enough money and start up from Netscape.
Yeah.
If Netscape didn't exist, none of these other things would exist.
I'm going to put him in the prohibited by community guidelines because that's what the other guys there are doing.
Yeah, you should. You is one of the people who is constantly pushing that we should replace human beings with AI. And he's all around just an evil guy.
Yeah.
But he's also so uncharismatic and weird that people actually don't know who he is. In a way that I think is even more dangerous because he can stand in the background and just throw money at things in the back. But that being said, Mark, $12.5 million, and we'll be nice.
No, we won't.
I
okay.
will. $12.5 million? Go on. For both of us, it's $25 million.
Let's see. No, this man right here, this is a very famous face.
That's a very famous face.
That's Michael Jordan.
That is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That is Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan actually is evil.
What?
Yeah, Michael Jordan is evil.
I know he said fuck them kids.
Yeah, but also like in general with basketball, okay. So he's a 6'6" basketball Hall of Famer from North Carolina.
Okay.
Prolific gambling addict.
Sure.
To the point where there are accusations around it.
Okay.
Where people believe that his gambling might have been the reason why his dad was murdered.
Huh?
There's Michael Jordan's dad was murdered, and some people tie that into his very famous gambling. But also, there's beliefs that Michael Jordan left basketball for a bit and became a bad baseball player because of gambling, which I don't know if that's true. He some of the things that he would do on the basketball court though are insane. Like one of the things he would do to motivate himself is he would find something that people did to drive him mad to make him want to play harder against people.
Sure.
Sometimes, though, he didn't have anything.
He made up stories.
He made up stories in his head. And, that's like psychopath shit. Jordan also declined at one point to endorse a Democratic candidate for Senate who was running against U.S. Senator Jesse Helms in North Carolina. Jesse Helms, also one of the all-time evil senators.
Yeah.
Insanely racist, psychopathic man who held power for way too long. When asked about this, Jordan reportedly said, and I quote, "Republicans buy sneakers too." Now, to be fair, he said it as a joke, but also it does fall underneath that Dolly thing of hey guys, I'm above the politics of it all. What I would say is watch The Last Dance. It is an incredible, I even though Jordan was huge when we were kids.
Yeah.
Neither of us.
That was the documentary where he was talking about how petty he was.
Yeah, exactly. He's so
entertaining.
petty. He's so petty. And also at one point he had a Hitler mustache for some reason. And everyone was like, does Jordan have a Hitler mustache? Anyway, I think that versus Charles Barkley, who has done a lot of overt good. Yeah, I'm sure Jordan has given money and
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's definitely not up there with Emotionally Luscious. He's not Charles Barkley level.
But he's not a botched Betty.
He's not batched. Is he the first Papa Tui?
I would say he is.
Because he's selling sneakers. He's doing that. He's commercialized. He has a good image, but he's still kind of an ass. That's very Papa Tui.
It's very Papa Tui.
I wonder what the word Papa Tui means.
I'm not going to look it up. But all I know is it's The Rock rubbing his own head.
It's The Rock shampoo.
You know what's funny?
What?
The Rock, not on this list.
No.
We just made him his own category.
No.
Okay.
So I'm putting Michael Jordan at Papa Tui.
Got it. Okay. Who do we got next?
Looks like Vladimir Putin.
Yes, controversial. It's controversial to
I
list
don't
him as an
think
evil
this
bald.
is controversial.
No, it's controversial to list him as bald because actually, as I wrote this list kind of from memory as bald people.
Yeah.
But when I looked closer at a picture of Putin, he has more hair than you expect. But it is receding.
Yeah.
But I think he's had medical intervention.
I was going to say.
He's also had a ton of work.
He loves getting work done.
Yeah. There's so many times where Putin's face, there's also the other issue you run into with Putin is he definitely uses body doubles.
Yeah.
Because there's times where you see various different Putins, some of which have extremely round, almost like like a moon pie face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy in that side of the way. So let's go with Vladimir Putin.
Do we need to explain why he's bad or evil?
I think, honestly, we do.
Really?
He's the current president of Russia, the former prime minister twice.
President, strong word.
Yeah, he's basically the de facto ruler of Russia since 1999. He's a former KGB agent who rose to head of the Russian FSB and then suddenly became prime minister before suddenly becoming president when Boris Yeltsin suddenly resigned from office
and
in 1999.
then people suddenly kept falling out of windows for 50 years.
Yes, he has suppressed speech. He has murdered and assassinated political rivals and dissidents using things like plutonium windows, literal shootings. He has killed hostages, staged false flag attacks, committed more war crimes than Joe Rogan has had guests. He has committed genocide during his multi-year attempt to conquer Ukraine, also areas in Chechnya and more. He used to love to pose shirtless a lot.
On horseback.
Yes, especially on horseback. But in recent years, he has been hidden from the public, hiding in a dacha, or dacha. It's basically a Russian mansion because he is terrified of COVID, a coup, and he probably has been suffering from cancer off and on for the last 6 to 7 or so years. We hope that he. That being said, I think I'm legally allowed to say that about him.
I guess so. I'm gonna put him in prohibited immediately because the bots online, they got a lot of bots. If there's one thing he's doing, it's putting a bunch of people in front of a bunch of cell phones in a warehouse.
Yeah,
that's one thing Putin's doing.
That is definitely one thing that Putin is doing. So yeah, let's not ruin our reach of our episode.
Yeah,
and
I'm not gonna say anything about this guy.
And to Mr. Third, that one word that I said, I hope that he bleep that whole part.
Yeah,
say I hope that he bleep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Mrs. B, who do you have next on the list?
So after Vladimir Putin, it looks like Stanley Tucci.
Yep.
King of the noodles.
Yeah, king of the nudes. Stanley Tucci.
I wish it was nudes, but it's actually noodles.
Noodles?
Hey.
Yeah, because he did get a TV show on CNN where he just traveled to, I think it's every province in Italy.
And just ate noodles.
And talked very deep into a microphone.
It just went on, just ate and talked to people, picked fresh lemons.
Yeah.
Lived my dream.
Yeah. I have here under Stanley Tucci, I just wrote, I still don't get it.
You still don't get it?
Yeah, I just don't get the appeal.
Wow. Okay, to be clear for maybe newer listeners who came to this podcast after seeing you on Crashing Out, because that has happened now in our comment section.
Yeah.
People expecting another Crashing Out experience.
Yeah.
Us having social media together started. Of the original TikTok was you getting mad at me for saying that Stanley Tucci can get it.
Yeah.
And then you not understanding why Stanley Tucci can get it. And then like 4 million women getting in your comment section to be like, you fool. Mm-hmm. Stanley Tucci is the female gaze.
Yeah, he just seems like a neighbor's dad who is safe to me.
Stanley Tucci, I'm not going to put him in Mr. Worldwide because that's for Mr. Worldwide, but he is emotionally luscious.
Okay.
In every single way.
You can put him up there all you want.
I am. This is my tier list at this point. The fact that you do not understand the appeal of Stanley Tucci
I'm just going to say, can I just say real fast to me?
Yeah.
Real fast, just for the engagement of it all. I don't get it. For the engagement.
Yeah, okay.
Because I get it. I get it and he can get it, okay? That bald man. Yeah, I understand. I've seen it. I watched that man clear broken glass out of a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And he was all bent over. I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way that man talks about ravioli? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's describing how much salt to put in water to boil your pasta, and you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, I get it.
Immediately in.
All right.
Cook me like a lobster.
Yeah.
Okay. So
also, I do feel like he would just be fun to be around.
Oh, for sure.
He's definitely one of those people who's just like, hey, come over. We're cooking a pizza outside.
Yeah.
He's just always cooking a pizza outside. It's just what he does.
But not in the Jimmy Kimmel way.
Not in the Jimmy Kimmel way.
Okay. Next is Stepan Miller.
Yeah.
I did a whole episode about him.
Yeah, we don't even need to cover it.
I don't think we need to do it because prohibited by community
I do have
guidelines.
an update.
I
do have an update, though. Stepan Miller's wife may be selling her podcast that has a quarter of the amount of YouTube subscribers as us.
Okay.
For like $15 million or something.
That's an option?
To Paramount.
Who's watching podcasts on Paramount?
Larry Ellison.
What?
Because it's all just a money laundering scheme.
Oh, okay.
It's all just a money laundering scheme.
Can we wash money with our podcast?
I just said that Jeff Bezos could give, not Jeff Bezos, Marc Andreessen could give us $25 million and we'll say nice things about him. And then you said no.
Well,
okay.
Stupid morals.
All right, that's why we have to do. That's why we have to do ad reads for testosterone and shit now.
Okay.
Everybody else out here.
Doing better help ads.
I'm putting this shit deep enough in the episode that we could just say what's going on. All right?
Okay.
It's getting expensive.
Yeah.
All right? I got a tour to sell. I got plane ticket. You guys seen a plane ticket recently?
We did a whole episode on berries. You know how much berries cost? We got this toddler. He be eating all these berries.
It was, to be fair, there was a comment, and I'll go ahead and say it now. It was a crazy episode to be like, are berries poisonous? By the way,
we were
testosterone.
like, yeah, I don't know, man.
By the way, check this tea.
We turned down gambling, okay?
Okay, yeah. I mean, God damn it, we turned down so much gambling. To the point where, like, legit, we've had interventions from people being like, but they want to offer you so much. But I was like, shut up.
I know. Listen,
The amount that you put him in prohibited.
It's prohibited. Okay, next up, I don't know who the next guy is. Who's that guy?
That's Dana White.
Who's Dana? Wait, is he the wrestling guy?
No, he's the UFC guy.
That's not wrestling.
It's BJJ.
They're giving BJs to each other?
No, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. UFC, Ultimate Fighting Champion, MMA.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love how I'm just yelling initials at you. Yes, that's Dana White, who would probably uses that testosterone stuff.
Yeah,
that's why he's
sure.
bald. He's the president and CEO of the UFC. He is evil as fuck. This man's evil.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you right now. This man, generationally evil. He actually is Joe Rogan's boss.
He's Joe Rogan's boss.
Because Joe Rogan's an announcer on UFC.
Yeah.
And Dana White is really, really good friend.
He's the guy that wants to do the UFC at the White House.
He's the guy who is doing the UFC at the White House and saying that it's not political doing that. And his example is, I've spoken at the Republican National Convention a bunch of times. That's not political. I'm just really close friends with the president, says Dana White.
So would he do UFC at Joe Biden's White House?
No, because he hates Joe Biden.
So then, okay.
Yeah, so this is one of the things. Dana White is one of the more evil people on this list.
Yeah.
Because of how he tries to hide it. During COVID, he had a fight island.
A fight island?
Because you know how like the NBA had the bubble?
Yeah.
The people had the bubble. He was like, we'll just go get an island.
How wrong did that go?
Yeah, anyway, so UFC has worked to suppress the wages and opportunity of their fighters by crushing union efforts and blackballing any fighters who try to go like outside of their network.
Yeah.
They've also bought up a series of their competitors. He is like I said, a close personal friend of Trump. He's been on Rogan a lot. He also is the guy who walks Trump to his chair at UFC fights. So whenever Donald Trump, like UFC fights now, if Trump is available, is a MAGA rally.
Yeah.
Where Dana White walks out with like Trump, Kid Rock, Elon Musk,
Guy
RFK.
Fieri.
Guy Fieri's usually already in his chair. They just shake hands as they walk by.
Yeah, and I'm like, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anthony Bourdain was right about you.
Yeah, these big horrific events are basically just MAGA rallies now where he'll come out and Dana White's always like pumping up the crowd. He was also there during the White House Correspondents' Dinner and then was like, look at all this stuff, whatever. He's a real bag of shit.
Yeah.
I would say he's equal with Vince McMahon in his level of evil, though Vince McMahon tried to cover up murders. I don't know if Dana White has directly.
Yeah, we don't know.
But he did also slap his wife on camera.
What?
Yeah, in 2022, Dana White slapped the shit out of his wife at a New Year's Eve party. Shortly after that, he founded a competition called Power Slap.
Okay, prohibited.
So some people believe that Dana White founded Power Slap, which is a competition.
To change the SEO.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what Jeffree Star did.
Yeah.
With Shane, they did the conspiracy and the controversy makeup palette.
Yes.
They made a makeup palette called the controversy palette so that when you Googled Jeffree Star controversy or Shane Dawson controversy.
Or Dana White slap.
It would come up as this image instead of this story about him slapping his wife.
Yeah, that's what people believe. This Power Slap is a competition where two people stand at a table and they slap each other hard enough until they give each other concussions, which will lead to CTE. But don't worry, he pays them dog shit while they happen. And he makes sure that there's a bunch of probably the most evil people on earth sitting around the side, commentating, laughing, and making short form video content around it.
I'm gonna put him under prohibited
because
I don't want to talk about him anymore. I'm very upset.
Oh, I forgot something before as you're putting him in there.
What?
He's also on the board of Meta.
The Facebook thing?
Yeah, no, all of Facebook. Facebook, Instagram, Threads. What's the other one there? WhatsApp.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's on the board.
So if we make a short form clip to play on Instagram Reels making fun of him, he's gonna suppress that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I don't think we're going to
So then prohibited because he's going to try to silence us and our silly jokes about him.
Probably. I don't know.
Every person I've ever met that started doing the
free
MMA,
speech? Oh,
no, the
MMA
MMA,
stuff. Yeah.
it's like, it's a weird, crazy pipeline.
It's
like guys go join MMA gyms or the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms, and specifically white guys. They join the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, and then it like becomes their whole personality, and then they get Roganized.
Yeah, well, so part of that is I've seen people online who've talked about this, where if you create a profile, some people like to have different profiles for different things, right?
Yeah.
So like, I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, it's crazy that I just raw dogged the whole internet under one name.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have a fake one? You don't have a Finsta? You don't have a sock puppet account? I was like, no, it's everything just Pro-Mania 500. They're like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You're seeing a very skewed vision of the world. And I said, yeah, I like it. But I know people who have multiple ones. So guys who are really into MMA, they have like just an MMA one.
Yeah.
And it's just like Rogan and Nazi pipelines.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Immediately.
And it's like, because that's just everything that's tied into it.
Intermittent fasting and cold plunges.
All right, Mrs. P.
Yeah.
We're in the final now.
Yeah, we're in the last three.
The last three.
Yeah.
That are going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay? So with that, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to rank them. The last three of the most evil balds. Okay. And we're here. It's the end of the tier list of most evil balds. This bubble on the wall has been bugging you the entire time. Look at that, listener, viewer. I'm getting rid of the bubble. I did it.
It's gonna come back.
It's
just moving to a different color.
It really is. Okay, so with that, we are ready. And I can tell you already know.
I can see who the next one is, and I don't know why he's here. She's there.
She's they.
They.
Let's be safe with the pronouns. Just say a they.
It's Trixie Mattel.
It's Trixie Mattel. Bald Trixie. So what do you think? Where would you put? Because here's what I did. I actually don't have anything written here.
You don't have anything written about her?
I have nothing. I just have drag queen and DJ. And then I have Mrs. P, go off.
Go off. Okay. I mean, this
because we love their podcast.
We do love their podcast.
The Bald and the Beautiful is great, which is one of the reasons they had to be on here.
They had a great Trixie Mattel show where they did HGTV. Love that. They have a great YouTube channel. Listen, they're capitalist Barbie. I love this for them.
Yeah.
They're out here. They're winning All Stars. They're doing their thing. I feel like it's emotionally luscious.
I would agree with you.
Okay, great. I didn't know if you were going to push back.
No,
on anything.
absolutely not. Because the thing is here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I'll say is sometimes people get attacked, right, for like taking the money.
Yeah.
And I don't mind when they're like overt about it.
No.
If they're overt about it, like Trixie is, I'm like, get it.
Take the money.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Also, especially because Trixie talks a lot about how their poor upbringing.
Yeah.
And like growing up in poverty in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Wisconsin. And so, like, for some people, like, they see that and they go, I need to take the opportunities that are in front of us.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have criticism about that, and I completely understand. And I can sometimes agree with those criticisms. But in some of these cases, I'm like, that's not enough for me to get rid of you. So let's just go over real fast who we have in Emotionally Luscious right now.
Bob the Drag Queen.
Yes.
Charles Barkley. Stanley Tucci. Trixie Mattel.
I think that's pretty good for Emotionally Luscious.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good, if I had to sit at a table.
Oh, this would be an incredible dinner table.
This would be an incredible table.
Oh, the conversation. The meal. Tucci's there?
Charles Barkley's there.
Charles Barkley's there.
Yeah. Stanley Tucci serving Bob the Drag Queen, Charles Barkley, Trixie Mattel.
And us.
And we're just on both hands just going like this the whole time.
Listen.
Emotionally
and so is
luscious.
Bob, because Bob's got the new locks.
Bob's got the new hair. The new hair is coming
Okay,
in.
so this is a big drop down from Trixie.
Yeah, because, and this is why I knew we needed to get it in, okay? Because the last two have charges. The last two have been convicted of stuff.
Convicted. The next person on this list is Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Tyson, former world heavyweight boxing champ and considered the baddest man on the planet. Also a convicted rapist.
Yep.
In his...
I'm just putting him right into the community guidelines.
You write the community guidelines?
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you a list of some of the things he did?
No, I know.
In 2013, in his autobiography, Undisputed Truth, Tyson admitted to using the urine of his then-wife, Monica Turner, to pass doping tests. He was married to Turner from 1997 to 2003. He also used his infant's urine for the same purpose. He bit off the ear of Evander Holyfield. He's an avid supporter of Donald Trump. He main evented that Klan rally of a Netflix boxing match against Jake Paul. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And in May of this year, May 5th, 2026, he sat on the Theo Von podcast in front of a live audience in LA where he begged Theo Von to say the phrase N-word lover. Begged him over and over and over again until Theo said it. And then the sold-out audience of nearly 2,000 people cheered. And then they posted that 10 days later on the internet, editing it very specifically. But that's what Mike Tyson does.
Great.
And that's not even the first time he's done it. He also begged Norm Macdonald to say the N-word. Norm Macdonald actually went out of his way to make a joke about it by saying, and I quote, I don't like saying that word on camera. Okay, so...
Okay, rough.
That was rough. But
That
the
was
last
rough.
one will be a lot better.
Yeah, okay. The final evil bald
Yeah.
is current President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, but look at the picture I got.
That's
an
a rough picture.
That's
dude.
an unedited picture. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing about Donald Trump. Is Donald Trump bald?
Yeah, he had a surgery.
Did he have a surgery?
Yeah, it was in what's her name's book.
Whose book?
The ex-wife, I think the one that's buried on the golf course. She in her book. Okay, this is just from the dome. From the dome with hair on it.
Okay.
Is in her book she wrote that he had a surgery to get his hair done, and it was extremely painful, and he blamed her for it because she had said he should go get the surgery to replace his hair, and so he blamed her for all the pain that she was in, and that is why he allegedly threw in the book her. And yeah, that was like his. But so in that, she said
Was that Marla Maples?
I think it's Marla Maples.
Okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, so it was like he got the surgery on his hair to try to replace the hair.
Yeah, so I can't list all the crimes and horrific things this man has done. You guys know it. You live in his America right now.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah.
Is I know that our immediate thought is to put it and prohibit it. Because, obviously. But I would actually say that this is weirdly a Mountbatten curse.
Yeah, no, this is
because this is generational.
His kids, yeah.
Yeah, he has kids, he has grandkids.
Ivana Trump. It was Ivana Trump's book.
Oh, that's the first wife.
Allegations of marital rape against Donald Trump stem from the 1990 divorce deposition from his first wife, Ivana, where she stated under oath that happened. And then I believe it was in a book that she wrote. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Anyway, but then during his presidential run, he forced her allegedly to recant that story.
Okay.
Because he wanted to run for president.
Yeah.
And then he buried her on a golf course?
Yeah, go mow your mom, Don Jr.
That's what I mean. That's why they get Mountbatten, because they're evil.
Yeah, no,
the kids
exactly.
are evil. All of
the
them.
kids are evil too. And Donald Trump just settled a lawsuit with himself where he told the United States government that they're never allowed to investigate him or his children for
so
tax
Putin.
crimes
That's so
ever
Putin.
again.
That's so Putin energy.
That is so Putin energy.
It's so, not that we would ever say anything negative about Putin.
Listen,
because
big
they're
fan.
Russian bots.
Big
They're
fan.
gonna come get us.
Anyway, Lex Luthor, weirdly somehow, I would say actually, you know what's crazy? If we did do this list, Lex Luthor would just be Botched Betty. Lex Luthor is nowhere near as evil as most of these guys. Maybe Papa Tui. I put him in Papa Tui.
With Michael Jordan?
Yeah, him and Michael Jordan can hang out. Yeah, sure, he's trying to kill Superman, but who hasn't?
Yeah.
It's Superman. I don't trust an alien.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that goes. What? That's just how that is. Well, Mrs. P, what do you think of the list? What do you think of the
I'm
tiers?
deeply concerned about this list.
Yeah? Or are you more concerned about things I've said?
Yeah.
I did fly off the handle quite a few times here, but we had a good time.
Yeah.
And what I did learn is on the Crashing Out episode, we had 50 names, and that took nearly 2 hours. I cut this down to 20, and it still nearly took 2 hours. So with that being said, everybody, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things. Mrs. P, any final words for the people out there, specifically any bald people that might be mad at me
listen,
now?
have a great week. Also, this isn't about you if you're bald or don't have hair. This is about these evil balds.
Yes.
Except for our emotionally luscious and, of course, Mr. Worldwide himself.
Yes.
Not talking about those 5 people who are awesome.
They're amazing people, and even if they did something wrong, no, they didn't.
Have a great week, guys.
Yeah, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next week right here on Too Many Tabs every Sunday at noon.